The galaxy thought humans were weak. They thought Earth had no defense. But today, everything changed. Today, the Forbidden Gate opened for the first time in 500 years. Commander Sarah Chin sat alone in her small observation post on Earth's moon. She stared at the screen showing empty space. It was a boring job. Nothing exciting ever happened here. She drank her coffee and checked the time. Only 2 more hours until her shift ended. Suddenly, all her screens went black. Sarah jumped from her chair. Her heart started beating fast. What was happening? She tried to reboot the systems, but nothing worked. Then the screens came back on. But something was different. Something was very wrong. Strange energy readings appeared on her monitor. They came from deep space, far beyond any known star system. Sarah had never seen readings like this before. Her hands started to shake. She zoomed in on the location. Her breath stopped. A massive structure appeared from nowhere. It was not a ship. It was not a station. It was a gate. A giant gate floating in empty space. The gate was bigger than Earth's moon. Ancient symbols covered its surface. Symbols that glowed with blue light. Sarah tried to contact Earth Command. She pressed the communication button again and again, but there was only silence. All communications were dead. She was alone. Alone watching something impossible. The gate started to change. The blue light grew brighter. The symbols began to rotate. Energy waves pulsed from the structure. Space itself seemed to bend around the gate. Sarah could not look away. Fear and wonder filled her mind. The gate began to open, slowly at first, then faster. A brilliant light burst from the opening. Sarah covered her eyes. When she looked again, she saw something moving inside the gate. Something big, something powerful. Something was coming through. Sarah grabbed her personal recorder. Her voice was shaking. She started recording everything. If something happened to her, someone needed to know. Someone needed to see this. The gate was now fully open. The light was so bright it hurt to watch. And then Sarah saw them. Shapes moving through the light. Ships, massive warships emerging from the gate. One after another. More and more. Sarah did not know it yet, but what came through that gate would change humanity's fate forever. The aliens were coming, and they had no idea what was waiting for them. The aliens were coming, and they had no idea what was waiting for them. Sarah watched in horror as alien warships poured through the gate. 10 ships, 20 ships, 30 ships. They kept coming. Each ship was massive. Dark metal hulls covered with weapons. Red lights glowed across their surfaces. These were not peaceful visitors. These were warships built for destruction. 50 alien ships now floated in formation near the gate. They were arranged in perfect attack patterns. Sarah counted them twice. Her military training kicked in. She analyzed their formations. Her stomach dropped. This was an invasion fleet. The largest ship moved to the front. It was twice the size of the others. Sharp edges and massive cannons covered every surface. This was a flagship. Inside that ship was their leader, a leader who came to conquer Earth. Admiral Vex stood on his command bridge. He was tall and covered in dark armor. His eyes glowed red with confidence. He had conquered 47 planets in 10 years. Earth would be number 48. It would be easy. Humans were weak. Everyone in the galaxy knew this. Vex smiled as he looked at Earth on his screen. Such a small blue planet. So defenseless. So primitive. He had studied human military strength. They had only 12 small defense ships. Pathetic. His fleet would destroy them in minutes. He turned to his communication officer. His voice was cold and cruel. Send a message to Earth. Tell them to surrender or die. Give them 1 hour to decide. The officer nodded and sent the transmission. On Earth, the president sat in the emergency war room. Generals and advisors surrounded him. They all looked terrified. The alien message played on the main screen. Surrender or die. 1 hour to decide. The defense minister spoke first. Sir, we have no choice. Our 12 ships cannot fight 50 alien warships. We will lose. Everyone in this room will die. Everyone on Earth will die. We must surrender. The president looked at the faces around him. Everyone agreed. There was no hope, no chance of victory. Earth's military was too weak. The aliens were too strong. But on the moon, Sarah remembered something. Something her grandfather told her long ago. Stories about Earth's shadow protocol. Stories nobody believed were real. Until now, Sarah knew she had to find the truth. Deep in Earth's archives, a 500-year-old secret was waiting. A secret that would make the aliens regret their invasion. A secret that would make the aliens regret their invasion. Sarah ran to her small transport ship. She had 45 minutes before the alien deadline. 45 minutes to find the truth. She launched from the moon base without permission. Her ship shot toward Earth at maximum speed. Earth military tried to contact her. Commander Chin, you are breaking protocol. Return to your post immediately. But Sarah ignored them. She had to reach the secret archive. She had to find Project Shadowgate. Her ship entered Earth's atmosphere. She flew straight to an old military facility in the mountains. The building looked abandoned, broken windows and rusted doors. But Sarah knew better. Her grandfather worked here 50 years ago. He told her secrets. Secrets about what was hidden below. Sarah landed hard and ran inside. Dust covered everything. She found the old elevator. It still worked. She pressed the button for sub-level 9, the lowest level, the forbidden level. The elevator moved down slowly, too slowly. The doors opened to a dark hallway. Emergency lights flickered on. Sarah ran forward. Her footsteps echoed in the empty corridor. She reached a massive steel door. A security panel blinked red. Sarah entered her grandfather's access code. The code he made her memorize as a child. The door opened with a loud sound. Inside was a room filled with old computer systems. Files covered the walls. Sarah searched frantically. She pulled files from shelves. Most were worthless. Old battle plans. Outdated technology reports. Then she found it. A black folder marked Project Shadowgate. Top secret. Level 10 clearance. Sarah opened it with shaking hands. Inside were blueprints. Technical documents. Construction records. Her eyes went wide as she read. 500 years ago, during the Third World War, humans built something incredible. A secret fleet. The most powerful warships ever created. 5,000 battleships with advanced weapons and shields. Technology beyond anything the galaxy had ever seen. But humanity nearly destroyed itself in that war. So the leaders made a choice. Hide the fleet. Put it in another dimension. Only bring it back if humanity faced total extinction. They built the Forbidden Gate as the doorway. Then they hid the activation codes. Sarah kept reading. Her hope grew with every page. The fleet still existed. It was waiting. But there was a problem. The file only contained half the activation code. The other half was missing. Without both codes, the gate would not work. Sarah looked at the time. 20 minutes until the alien deadline. She needed the second code. Where was it? Then she remembered. Her grandfather's last words to her. The box he gave her. The box he made her promise never to open. Until the world needed saving. The answer was closer than Sarah thought. Her grandfather did not just tell her stories. He left her something. Something that would awaken humanity's true power. Something that would awaken humanity's true power. Sarah sprinted back to her ship. She had 15 minutes left. 15 minutes before Earth surrendered. Before humanity became slaves to the alien empire. Her ship launched at full speed toward her family home across the city. She crashed through the front door. Everything looked the same as she remembered. Photos on the walls. Her grandfather's chair by the window. Sarah ran to his old study. She pulled open the closet. There in the back corner was the metal box. Her hands trembled as she picked it up. It was heavier than she remembered. She broke the lock and opened it. Inside was a silver key and a sealed letter. The letter had her name written on it, in her grandfather's handwriting. Sarah tore open the letter. Her eyes filled with tears as she read. Sarah, if you're reading this, then Earth is in terrible danger. I was part of Project Shadowgate. I helped build the fleet 500 years ago. Yes, I am that old. We used technology to extend our lives so we could protect the secret. I kept the second activation code safe. I waited my whole life for this moment, but I knew I would not live to see it. So I give this duty to you. Use the code only when humanity faces extinction. The key will open the hidden compartment in this box. Inside is the complete activation sequence. Save our world, Sarah. Save our people. I love you always. Grandfather. Sarah found the hidden compartment. She used the key. Inside was a small data chip. The second code. She had it. She had both codes. But time was almost gone. She ran back to her ship with the chip. 5 minutes left. She launched toward the moon. Her communication system lit up. It was Earth Command. The president was about to announce surrender. The alien fleet was moving into attack position. Sarah pushed her engines beyond safe limits. The ship shook violently. Warning alarm screamed. She did not care. She had to reach the Forbidden Gate control station. She had to enter the codes. Her ship reached the moon. She could see the alien fleet in the distance, weapons charging, ready to destroy Earth. Sarah jumped from her ship. She ran to the ancient control panel near the gate structure, the panel that nobody used for 500 years. She inserted both data chips. Her fingers flew across the controls. She entered the first code, then the second code. The panel turned green. The gate began to react. Energy surged through the massive structure. What happened next shocked everyone. The gate did not just open, it exploded with power. And from that explosion, humanity's true strength finally awakened. The Forbidden Gate erupted with brilliant blue light. Energy waves burst across space. Every ship in the system felt the power. Sarah shielded her eyes from the blinding flash. The ancient structure roared to life after 500 years of silence. Admiral Vex stood frozen on his command bridge. His officers stared at their screens in confusion. "What is that? What is happening?" One officer shouted. "Sir, massive energy readings from the gate. Power levels are impossible. Nothing can generate that much energy." Vex felt something he had not felt in years. Fear. His red eyes watched as space itself began to tear open. The gate was not just opening. It was ripping through dimensions, bringing something back from the void. One ship emerged from the light. Then 10. Then 50. Then hundreds. Then thousands. They kept coming. Wave after wave of massive warships. Each one 3 times larger than Vex's flagship. Dark hulls covered with advanced weapons. Shields that glowed with blue energy. The Shadow Fleet had returned. 5,000 human battleships took formation around Earth. Perfect attack patterns. Precise military coordination. These were not defense ships. These were weapons of total war. Ships designed by humanity at the peak of its power. Technology the galaxy had never seen before. Vex counted the ships. His hands shook. 5,000. 5,000 warships. How is this possible? Humans were supposed to be weak, primitive, defenseless. His intelligence reports were completely wrong. He tried to contact the human fleet. His communication officer sent dozens of signals, but there was only silence. The Shadow Fleet did not respond. They simply waited, floating in perfect formation, weapons charged and ready. Then one message came through. A single transmission, a human voice. Cold and clear and absolutely terrifying. Leave now or face extinction. You have 60 seconds to decide. Vex looked at his 50 ships, then at the 5,000 human warships surrounding him. His pride screamed at him to fight. He was Admiral Vex, conqueror of 47 worlds. He did not retreat. He did not surrender. But his survival instinct was stronger than his pride. For the first time in his military career, he felt true terror. These humans had hidden this fleet for 500 years. They let the galaxy think they were weak. But it was all a lie, a trap. Vex had a choice, retreat or fight. But his pride was too strong. He chose war. And he was about to learn why humanity hid this fleet, why they called it the Shadow Protocol, and why the galaxy should have stayed away from Earth. Vex slammed his fist on the command console. His pride burned hotter than his fear. He turned to his weapons officer. All ships prepare to attack. We did not conquer 47 worlds by running away. Fire everything. Destroy them all. The Krillian fleet obeyed instantly. 50 warships unleashed their full arsenal. Thousands of missiles streaked through space. Energy beams cut across the darkness. Plasma torpedoes blazed toward the human fleet. It was the most powerful attack Vex had ever ordered. The Shadow Fleet did not move. They simply floated in formation, silent, waiting. The alien weapons struck their shields. Massive explosions lit up space. Vex smiled. He thought he had won. But when the explosions cleared, the human ships were untouched. Not a single scratch. Their shields had absorbed everything. 500-year-old technology was still more advanced than anything the galaxy possessed. Then the Shadow Fleet responded. Blue energy beams fired from 1,000 human ships. They moved faster than Vex could track. In 3 seconds, 10 Krillian warships exploded into flames. Their shields meant nothing. Their armor melted like paper. 10 ships gone in an instant. Vex screamed orders. Evasive maneuvers. Return fire. Protect the flagship. But it was useless. The human weapons were too accurate, too powerful, too fast. Another 20 ships exploded. Then 10 more. The battle was not a battle. It was an execution. Vex watched his fleet die around him. Officers ran in panic. Systems failed across his flagship. Only 15 ships remained. Then 10. Then 5. His entire invasion force destroyed in less than 2 minutes. He fell to his knees. His voice cracked with desperation. Send surrender signal. Tell them we give up. Please. The officer sent the message with shaking hands. All weapons stop. We surrender. Please do not kill us. The human fleet stopped firing. Vex's flagship was the last ship remaining. Damaged but still alive. The cold human voice returned. Tell your empire this. Earth was never weak. We were just waiting. We gave the galaxy 500 years of peace. Anyone who threatens Earth will face the Shadow Fleet. Vex understood now. Humans were not prey. They were predators. Predators who had been sleeping. His invasion had awakened them. Go now. The human voice commanded. Spread our message. Never return. Vex's damaged flagship limped toward the gate. His crew silent with shock and shame. Behind him the Shadow Fleet watched, making sure he left, making sure he remembered this defeat. Sarah watched from the moon base. Tears rolled down her face. Not tears of sadness. Tears of pride. Her grandfather's sacrifice meant something. His secret had saved Earth. Saved humanity. The Shadow Fleet began returning through the gate. One by one the massive ships disappeared into the dimensional portal. But 100 ships remained behind, floating in orbit around Earth. Permanent guardians. A warning to the galaxy. Earth was no longer defenseless. The secret was revealed. Humanity had teeth. Sharp teeth hidden in the shadows. The president contacted Sarah directly. Commander Chin, you saved us all. You are a hero. Come home. Sarah picked up her grandfather's letter. She held it close to her heart. Thank you, grandfather. I kept the promise. I saved our world. The forbidden gate began to close. Slowly the brilliant light faded. The portal shrank. But everyone knew it could open again. Anytime Earth needed it. The Shadow Fleet was always watching. Always waiting. News spread across the galaxy within hours. The Krillian Empire's invasion failed. Admiral Vex barely escaped with his life. Earth possessed a hidden armada. 5,000 warships that appeared from nowhere. Other alien empires heard the story. They canceled their invasion plans. They marked Earth as forbidden territory. Humanity was no longer considered weak. No longer considered easy prey. The Shadow Fleet returned to the shadows. But their legend lived forever. The day Earth revealed its true power. The day the galaxy learned to fear humanity. Sarah stood on the moon, looking at Earth. Her beautiful home planet. Safe now. Protected now. She smiled knowing her grandfather was watching from somewhere. Proud of what she accomplished. Commander Sarah Chin became a legend. The woman who activated the Shadow Protocol. The woman who saved Earth. But she did not care about fame. She only cared that humanity survived. The Forbidden Gate was closed but not locked. Ready to open again if needed. Ready to unleash the Armada once more. Earth's message was clear. We are peaceful, but we are not defenseless. We are kind, but we are not weak. We are human, and we protect our own. The galaxy remembered that day forever. The day humanity stopped hiding. The day the shadows awakened. The galaxy remembered that day forever. The day humanity stopped hiding. The day the shadows awakened. 6 months passed since the failed invasion. Earth changed completely. The 100 Shadow Fleet ships remained in orbit, silent guardians watching over the planet. Their presence brought peace, but also questions. Sarah Chun was no longer a simple commander. She became Admiral Chun, leader of Earth's new defense force. Her office overlooked the planet from a space station. Every day she received reports from across the galaxy. Other alien races wanted to meet humanity now, not as enemies, as allies. They feared the Shadow Fleet. They respected Earth's power. Trade agreements arrived daily. Peace treaties filled her desk. The galaxy wanted friendship with humanity, but Sarah remained careful. She remembered Admiral Vex, remembered his cruelty. Not all aliens could be trusted. Some races still planned in secret, still dreamed of conquering Earth. They just waited for the right moment. One morning, Sarah's communication panel lit up. Incoming message from deep space. Unknown origin. She opened it carefully. The message was simple but shocking. This is Captain James Rodriguez of Shadow Fleet Ship Phoenix. We have been watching from the dimensional gate for 500 years, protecting humanity in secret. Now we can finally come home. Permission to dock requested. Sarah's heart stopped. Her hands shook as she typed her response. Permission granted. Welcome home, Captain Rodriguez. Welcome home. 3 days later, the Phoenix arrived. It was one of the original Shadow Fleet command ships. Battle-scarred but still powerful. The crew disembarked slowly. Men and women who left Earth 500 years ago. They used time dilation technology to stay young, waiting for the day they could return. Captain Rodriguez met Sarah in person. He was tall with gray eyes full of wisdom. He saluted her formally. Admiral Chun, we watched you activate the protocol. You saved Earth just as we hoped someone would. Your grandfather trained you well. Sarah felt tears forming. You knew my grandfather. Rodriguez smiled sadly. He was my best friend. We served together in the Third World War. He chose to stay on Earth. I chose to stay with the fleet. We both kept our promises. More Shadow Fleet ships began arriving. Crews returning home after centuries of duty. Heroes who sacrificed everything to protect humanity. Earth celebrated their return. Parades filled the streets. The president declared it Unity Day. But in the darkest corners of the galaxy, new threats were forming. Alien empires planning revenge. They studied the Shadow Fleet weakness. They searched for ways to defeat Earth's guardians. And somewhere far beyond known space, an ancient evil stirred. Something older than the gate. Something that watched humanity's rise with hungry eyes. Something that was coming. Sarah stood on the observation deck with Captain Rodriguez. She looked at Earth below. So beautiful. So fragile. So worth protecting. Are we ready for what comes next, Captain? She asked quietly. Rodriguez looked at the Shadow Fleet ships in formation, then at the stars beyond. We have been ready for 500 years, Admiral. The question is whether the galaxy is ready for us. The Forbidden Gate pulsed with energy in the distance, still connected to the dimensional fleet, still ready to bring reinforcements. Earth was protected, but the universe was vast, full of dangers humanity had not yet discovered. Sarah made a decision. She opened a channel to all Shadow Fleet ships. This is Admiral Chun. Begin deep space reconnaissance missions. Map unknown sectors. Find threats before they find us. Humanity will not wait to be attacked again. We will be the guardians now. The ships acknowledge her orders. They dispersed across the galaxy, carrying Earth's message, carrying humanity's strength. The shadows were no longer hiding. They were hunting. Captain Rodriguez smiled with approval. Your grandfather will be proud, Admiral. You understand the truth. The best defense is knowing your enemy. Sarah nodded. She touched the window, looking at Earth. Her home, her responsibility. Peace is not given. It is protected, Every single day, the galaxy entered a new era, the age of human guardians, the age of the Shadow Protocol. Earth's fleet watched, Earth's warriors waited, and the universe would never be the same.